You know what Detroit's got right now? I watched this tape really closely. They have dependable players and violent players. They really hit in the line. They are taking people on. The defensive linemen, they just shut down the Tampa Bay run game. On offense, they did a job over time of pass proing for Jared Goff, and they're not getting any penalties. They're now +2 on turnover margin, +2. They've been worked their way up to that, but they don't get any penalties. So they're smart and they're tough, and that's really why they're 5-1. You mentioned Laporta. Oh, go ahead, Ty.
Well, it's amazing how far this team has come. And I don't think we can really harp on it enough. And it was so illuminating. I'm sure we're going to talk about Tracy Walker. Boy, did he stick Chris Godwin on a hit, didn't he? But he is, we were so grateful that he opened up like he did about what life was like under Matt Patricia. And to get from where they were as a team at that point to where they are now, I know it's hard for people to quantify what it means to go to work happy and wanting to run through that proverbial wall. But it's real. I mean, this real quick, I just pulled up. So again, earmuffs for people out there. There's some language, but Tracy Walker, he mentioned how Matt Patricia's big thing was screaming at practice, 89-1, 89-1 in training camp, saying basically, like, if you're that one, you're out. Like, if you're there at 8-15 instead of 8, you're out. And he got rid of the really good players, captains, Darius Slay, right? Glover Quinn retired early because of Matt Patricia. Quandre Diggs is shipped off to Seattle. He's a captain. So this is Tracy Walker's words, quote, on Patricia. Again, some swear words here. He'd be like, to hell with you. Go fuck yourself. This is the way we do it. If you don't like it, hit the fucking road. He didn't shy away from telling you how he felt. If you got 89 that are all on board and you've got one guy who isn't, well, fuck this one guy. We'll bring in another guy. Quote, we played a lot of bad ball around here because of that reason. All the guys who said something, they got out of here. Literally. That 89-1 was a real thing. This is what I mean by do what I say or you're gone. Hit the highway. I will find another place for you. I don't care how good of a player you are. And he gets into how toxic it really was, cites specific examples, a preseason game when he's, all out tackling the day before the game. Basically, Matt Patricia was kind of a Bill Belichick knockoff, right? A caricature. That's why these lieutenants never do anything. They're trying to be somebody they're not. Like in the hallways, he said that Matt Patricia could be a great guy. He'd ask about your family. He's like, yeah, this is somebody you'd want to get a beer with. And then speaking of Halloween, it's like he puts a mask on and becomes somebody else. One more from Walker, quote, I fucking hated coming in. Guys used to hate it here. So to go from that place with Matt Patricia, where not only are you losing, but the culture, the facility, everything is just so poisoned with asbestos, right? Nobody likes it there, to now. And you hear what Dan Campbell says, and then you see the way the team plays, and it's a direct reflection of everything that he's done internally. I used to think all culture talk was a bunch of nonsense, Bob. I'm not going to lie. In my younger, like Bleacher Report days, I'd hear coaches kind of filibustering on and on about culture. It does get a little old. Some of it is pretty cliche, but it's real. I mean, when you look at like the Cleveland Browns, for example, and was it 2019 when they get Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry, and they got Baker and Freddie Kitchens as the coach and Olivier Vernon. They've got all this talent. And where they get? I got them 6 wins. You need talent, but I think that Dan Campbell understands, like they needed to fumigate things there, as Forrest Gregg yelled way back in the 80s, right? Fumigate the building. It was Forrest who yelled that, I think, after they had to. And I just apologize for the language, but man, I think it's important to look back at how bad things really were. And that series is up at Go Long, just DNA of the Lions. We can link it in here as well on just how they went from that place to now. They had to find the kind of player that would respond to Dan Campbell, but there's a reason these fans are filling every single stadium. They know that something special is building with this team.